morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are lucky enough to have Edwin Tan join us again. His Chinese name is Tom Manhui. Okay, the gentleman who had contributed his life, or at least most of it, to the benefits of Hong Kong citizens, especially citizens in Toguawan, which is a local area, an area loaded with historical relics and history of China. Now, Edwin, I understand you spend a lot of time educating people, not only in real estate, not only in the fairness and openness of government. You have also been very much a member, an active member. I won't call you activist because you don't go out to kick around, but you certainly have taught a lot of children, people even including me, about the quality of air. Could you tell us what you have done in terms of Hong Kong air? Well, let me supplement that by saying, statistically speaking, that this is a fact. Hong Kong is not up to par in air quality. Not up to par. Not yet. We've got a long way to go, and the government had a lot to do. So, Edwin, tell us what we can do. What had you educated people with?
Okay, I started with basic, information. A lot of people doesn't understand about health, air-related problem. Now, because it's invisible, I teach them, by using very simple thing, with a glass of water and also an empty glass, and I told them these are the two very essential elements which affect human beings. One is water, the other is air. Like Professor?
No, call me Bob.
Bob, without water, how long can you survive?
About 3 to 7 days, I would say most.
Then without water, how long can you survive?
You mean without air?
Yes.
Well,
no
hell,
air. Vacuum.
Theoretical speaking, if your brain is devoid of oxygen, 7 seconds. Okay, but if you can hold your breath, what, a minute? I can hold underwater 1 minute. Okay, I think that's pretty darn good.
That means 5-7 days against a minute to 3 minutes.
Right.
Okay, what I mean is water and air is so important that without it, we're all going to extinct. Okay, water has been supplied by the nature as a gift of God. And then the government has a responsibility to provide clean water to all citizens. Okay, so we can have clean water for our daily consumption. And that we have the water authority to supervise, and then by providing the whole channel from rainwater into usable water and clean water, drinking water. And yet, the water is so vital, we have water authority. But then the air is more vital because we can be distinct within few minutes. And where is our air authority?
We don't have one.
We don't.
In Hong Kong, there is no air authority per se.
What I mean is that we only have the Environment Protection Department to safeguard and then protect all citizens by monitoring the air. Have we done enough in Hong Kong?
Well, now to answer your question, Alvin, no. Hong Kong air is bad, okay? Not as bad as Shenzhen, but Hong Kong air is bad. It's 2 or 3 times worse than WHO could tolerate.
Yes. Hong Kong is a commercial hub in the southern region of China and a link to Southeast Asia and all the major cities. Okay. With this, we create a major transportation facility. And yet, as an international city, which together with China, we have signed all the protocol and the World Health Organization that the Environment Department should, with its authority, protect the safe and safeguard the health and interests of all Hong Kong citizens.
One of the biggest problem I have, okay, enjoy your tea.
Yes.
One of the biggest problem I have in Hong Kong is actually is provided by the material you gave me. And I was very unpleasantly, but not surprised, okay, that the street effect, okay, street valley effect, is that is when the central government or the environmental department, protection, environmental protection people in Hong Kong, they didn't do the job. When the airflow is not free to move about, okay, and this valley effect, the bad air goes up, okay, and it stays there. In To Kwa Wan, which is your district, right?
Yes.
I went to To Kwa Wan and went up to the high rises, okay, above the To Kwa Wan door, okay.
Yes.
I'm talking about going up, banking against the hill. You're talking about people spend millions of US dollars, okay, for a little flat, all right. The air quality is as bad as those living in the on the street side. What happened? PM 2.5.
Yes.
Okay, these small floating particles, which can cause disease, that actually kills. What happens is, tell us about this PM 2.5 small particle that goes into your lung. Where does it go? Can it cause cancer?
Yes. I mean, Hong Kong has environment ordinance, and we have signed the international, agreement to safeguard Hong Kong as an international city. Okay. Environment ordinance, according to the World Health Organization, there's a sunset clause that every major city and country should upgrade their environment ordinance, not every now and then, but within the 6-year period. That means you, as the international city, should upgrade that ordinance now and then. However, Hong Kong has not been upgraded this environment ordinance, for the last over 10 to 12 years. Why? There's an explanation, it seems, that the business world is objecting of this upgrade because they claim that the commercial cost to the upgrade of the ordinance will create more cost. And I've been thinking,
I got a problem with this.
Yes.
Can you put a price tag on human life?
Exactly. Because, people's interest, common people's health interest, that comes first. That is why we need the government to help us, to guide us and protect us by establishing laws, legislation, so that our life and environment can be protected in a situation not to endanger us. Now, but what happened in Hong Kong? We have not been upgraded the environment ordinance. And also, some of the major issue, government likes to issue instruction. That means intent. That means you should do this, you should do that, but not law. That means there's no penalty for you not to execute it. If you don't do that, you just give us an excuse, right? Is that good enough?
Too many guidelines, too few law.
Yeah.
I agree with small government, but for Christ's sake, when you're dealing with human life, okay, right here, every time when people mention about these guidelines, it really irritated me. ETV had been one of the few stations that actually came out and shout with our fists and feet up in the air and telling people, look, for all the oils used for deep frying, if you go out on the street, okay, and Hong Kong people love to eat. That's the world recognized eating center, all right? We like a lot of deep fried stuff, and every time when you eat a deep fried stuff, you could not help but to ask yourself, how many times had this oil been used and used and used again? And yet, let me tell you, whenever you use this oil, whenever there are carbon-carbon double bond, unsaturated, polyunsaturated fats, when it's subjected to air oxidation, that is heat plus oxygen, you will have a chemical called HNE. And I have elaborated this on eetv, and I have told the story too many times. The government, all the government had done, without giving us any credit, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we were not given any credit. Okay, they went out, okay, and to tell all the restaurant owners, hey, look, you're doing deep frying, okay? Change your oil on time, guide yourself, clean afterwards properly. There is an English term, it's called hogwash. That's what guidelines for, because nobody's guiding it, nobody's watching it, nobody's doing it. What is wrong with this government? When it comes to air as an essential element, like you said,
Yes.
okay, this is one of those points that get me so irritated. Ladies and gentlemen, there's another thing Edwin is trying to tell you, which is the following. Every time when there's a vehicle pass by, especially in the city, like this beautiful city of Hong Kong, we are facing this wall. Not talking about one bus, not talking about two buses. We're talking about this wall of buses moving, okay, very dynamically in Hong Kong. And those emissions, every time when you have burning petroleum product, you will have very microscopic particles. And the World Health Organization classified this as PM 2.5, and which is instigated,
Yes.
and you had insisted government to publish the record on PM 2.5, and today you can get online actually, and well, hell, I got an iPhone. You can get online very easily, just to find a PM 2.5. Okay, today PM 2.5 is 86. This is real time, and this is selected good area. What does that tell you? PM 30 is already on a dangerous level. The World Health Organization guideline is about 30. Okay, in Korea you have about 12, 13. In Japan, okay, you have, Japan is an old city, old country, all right? You have about 30. Hong Kong, 86.
86.
Now, what is so dangerous, okay, is when you look at outside, hey, pretty good. I can't see anything, it's clear.
86.
That says all. The air in Hong Kong is bad. So bad that it's so deceptive. People just don't care.
Yes. The bad air actually is a silent killer. It's create health hazard
Right.
invisible. Day
Right.
to day, regardless of your religious, regardless your race, your age, right? Whether you're wealthy, you're poor, we're breathing the same air. And yet, the government, regardless of health and responsibility to the citizen, doesn't upgrade the environment ordinance, doesn't enforce the law of PM 2.5 to restrict the business world to within the guideline, and then create the environment which is necessary for us to be healthy. We have been disadvantaged for so long. Should we be, endanger our next generation? We should not. Even China, as a development country, now they wake up. They saying now they are paying for what they have done wrong before, and it's not too late for them. PM 2.5 has been already legislated, passed through, executed in China. Hong Kong is a part of China. They accepted PM 2.5, but still doesn't like to legislate and implement the law. Why? Why should Hong Kong citizens be forced to suffer in this environment, disaster environment. We should not. We should stand up, tell the politician, tell the government, we want our right. Because health environment is a right to everyone. And yet, our government is not doing enough to protect that.
Well, let me tell you the other side of the story. Okay? Just like what you said. How many times have friends of mine, very well-to-do, rich, powerful, okay, and very well-nourished people, sometimes I consider them had led a beautiful and happy life. But yet, again and again, they die out of cancer. And it's not just lung cancer. PM 2.5, if you breathe enough of it, which we are breathing them, okay, they suddenly, they come and tell me, hey, look, why me? Hell, only one simple story. You and I, we have one thing in common, regardless of race, color, age, or whatever. You could be as beautiful as, Miss Lam, okay? And you could be as sharp as your wife, okay? What happened eventually? We all breathe this same breath of air. And this is one of the elements that causes cancer.
Yes.
Okay.
America has the Clean Air Act. I've been raised the issue about having such a Clean Air Act in Hong Kong. I've been laughed at, saying I'm a nut. Nobody wants that. I said, why not? Why not? We breathe the same air. Is that because you have more money, you can breathe freely or better?
No, actually, this I can point out another thing. You see, the air today is very clear, and I've told you the PM 2.5 is 86. It's actually almost getting dangerous level. Okay, the Hong Kong government had issued and saying what 86 means. That if you are healthy, if you are not bothered by any health problem, it's okay to breathe this air. Ladies and gentlemen, that's excluding those people, old guys like me. Okay? For anybody whose health condition is not so good, you should not breathe this air. That is the sad side of the story. On top of that, okay, Hong Kong university students and professors have done considerable jobs, as well as other scientists here, okay? And you know what Hong Kong had done in terms of the restaurant discharge? Nothing. They just pull the air out from the kitchen directly onto the street, sometimes facing a building where there are a lot of people living in there. This is a no-no. Any combustion, like we said earlier, any small engine, diesel engine, kitchen discharge, okay, should be regulated, especially within a city, okay. Can you imagine we have the High Court judge office facing a kitchen discharge? Would that be acceptable? Can you imagine the legal members drinking the unfiltered water and with the lead starters that are not qualified? They will not accept it. So let's remind ourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
So what is the remedy?
Breathing the same air.
Yeah. What is the remedy?
Do it.
Does the government give us safe house, safe space, safe air? No. We are the sufferer. We pay for all this with our money, health costs. That's what we are paying.
Well, the problem is this triangle. You had established it through our Sha Tin Central Link story. The legal, the government, and the big business.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the elected members you have elected had not only not done their job, they actually work against your interest during the past. Let us hope in the future. Let us hope in the future that you will elect the right type of guy that don't have such conflict of interest.
Yes. Okay. Do think before you vote. Do think what is behind the issue. Remember, think of the people first, not the money. Okay, because like Professor saying, who is behind all the instruction? Is it the big business, big brother? True. They instructed some of the politicians to raise issue which is beneficial to the big business in the legislative council. Pass through all these rules and ask the government section to execute it. But are they executing enough on environment? No. Are the legislators doing enough to pass through the necessary law like the environment ordinance? No. They try to hide it. They to suppress. And every time we have a subpoena wanting the truth, the naked truth, then using the majority vote, they try to suppress all the real issue. Everyone, you should stand up because you are breathing the same bad air as everyone, including the legislator, the business consortium, and the government people.
You know, statistically speaking, it is true, okay, as we elong our life through modern medicine, that there are more and more cases of cancer. But it is also true. Now, this people did not tell you. It is also true. Your rate of cancer, which you have to suffer from, okay, is increasing alarmingly, and a highly correlated relationship between the quality of air you and I breathe, okay, and the cancer rate. There's no escaping from it. In Toguawan, okay, the air quality index is inferior to a lot of other places. Okay, even when it goes up, okay, into the high rises, even means you are rich. You had not escaped the culprit of bad air. Let us work together. Okay, this is not a slogan. Stop all the slogan. Stop all the political charges. Think about human life. Think about we all value very preciously our health. Would you say so?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.